What is going on, crypto family? This is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video. And on today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about a millionaire trader who pretty much used the same strategy of Michael Saylor, the same one that I've been talking about. And he turned, DCAing into millions, multiple millions of dollars. So we're going to be talking about his latest posts on X and picking out some of the stuff that he is talking about, because a lot of it, especially after I read it, I'm like, yo, this is some of the same stuff that I've been talking about. So it just lead me to believe that we are going down the right path, especially with this Roaring Kitty thesis. So before I dive too deep into this video, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, consider subscribing. Definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinion about today's video. So FBB4, he is known on X, especially within the crypto community, based upon him publicly posting his holdings. And currently, right now, this is how much his holdings is. $8.3 million. $8.3 million. Majority of it is in Ethereum. And the crazy thing about it, guys, he breaks down his strategy of how he was able to get to this huge amount of gains. So again, this is what we're going to be tackling in today's video. So this is what he said. He said the leap of faith in a thesis. So that's the first thing, guys. And this is the same thing that I've always said. You got to have a thesis. You got to have a understanding of where your asset is going to go and how it's going to get there. And this is why, for me, I outlined it, I made the outline for the Roaring Kitty thesis. Like, and this is not just one thesis, guys. This is multiple theses packed up with one token, which is crazy to say because a lot of tokens only have one thesis. And if that does not work, then that is boom, kabam. The token is not going to go any further. But with Roaring Kitty, there's so many theses behind it, and one of the biggest ones, it's of course is the power of CTO, where the community constantly come raid shill, you know, and just make noise, copying what Shiba Inu done, and also mimicking some of these other top assets such as your Turbo, your Popcat, your Mog, your SPX 6900. A lot of those tokens, they're structured the same way. So again, that's all a part of the thesis. So to get back to what he was saying, he said the leap of faith in a thesis. People always ask how I made life-changing gains. Again, he had the mindset, the thesis, I want to make life-changing gains. Life-changing gains with Pepe Coin. They assumed that I had secret alpha, that I timed it perfectly. Same thing. People think like, hey, you got to time something. You got to get in there early. That's not necessarily the cause. You don't necessarily have to get into something early, but you do have to have a thesis of why you're getting in it. And he continued by saying, the truth is, I didn't, and I didn't need to. In 2021, I first started buying at 20 cents. So he started buying Pepe Coin at 20 cents. Then he bought at 10 cents, meaning he just lost 50% of his portfolio, guys. He's down unrealized 50%. Many people, after being down 50%, they are ready to just call it quits. They're ready to, cut the umbilical cord. But instead, what he's doing, he is DCAing, trying to get his average down. And he said, I kept DCAing through 2022. And then the FTX collapse happened. So I bought more. So a negative catalyst took place. And guess what he started doing? He started buying more. Guess what just happened for Roaring Kitty? A negative catalyst, guys. A negative catalyst just happened. And guess what some of the community members are doing? They're anticipating buying the dip, or some of them are actually buying the dip right now. So that way they could get more Roaring Kitty. Because again, if you were bullish over here and you had the goal to try to buy it next to all-time highs, then if it's lower, then you should still have the gall. You should still have the zeal to want to buy it at a discounted price, because again, it is still the same token. Nothing fundamentally has changed. Just tokens just got added into the liquidity pool, causing the price to go down. It's still the same tokens. The thesis is still the same. Everything is still the same about the token. So this is why I really don't understand why people will buy here then automatically sell here, instead of just buying. And it goes back to, did this person really have a thesis? And the answer to that typically is no. They're buying thinking that they're going to magically or, get lucky and just make money off of a token. Buddy, I mean, if you look at your track record, and this is going for most people, you are not that lucky. You are not that lucky, and the odds are heavily stacked against you when it comes to crypto. As far as like your probability of making money, then the probability of you making life changing money is even greater. But again, it goes back to, does this person have a thesis? And the answer to that, most people in crypto do not have a thesis. So to continue, he said, all right, there go the negative catalyst. The FTX collapse happened, so I bought more in April 2023 around the ERC 20 bridge. I bought. They bought at 3 cents to about 25 cents, and across 2023 they bought between a penny and 4 cents. So meaning their first buy was somewhere at 20 cents. So they bought essentially at the top, and when it got down this low, they were down like 99%, guys, 99% of their investment. But guess what? They had a thesis, they had a plan. Being down does not mean your plan is just gone. Being down just means like, hey, my thesis still intact? And if the answer is yes, then guess what you're going to continue to do? You're going to continue to keep buying. So he continued by saying, one of my favorite trades was a buy of $257 that turned into $159,000, guys. That is huge. So this is one based upon one of his buys, one of his dip buying opportunity that he bought, and that alone turned into $159,000. He said, needless to say, I hold quite a bit of Pepe coin. This is a story about conviction over precision. A lot of people want to be precise. A lot of people want to, and this was something that Warren Buffett say, time in the market is better than trying to time the market, and that's a billionaire who's been investing for decades. All right, so let's continue. He said, I had a macro thesis. Bitcoin's global adoption was still in its early innings. Meme coins tend to follow Bitcoin, and they can deliver outsized gains at peak euphoria, as observed with Dogecoin or with Doge. I needed to have a meme coin position. People who get shaken out during the bloodiest part of the crypto cycle are usually the ones closest to inflection point, meaning the people who typically sell when things are just bad or red, they're typically the one who is timing the bottom. Like after they finish selling, and this is why this is what you typically tend to see. After you sell, then that's when the token decide that it want to start having a rebound. Yeah, because you're pretty much the signal. So let's continue. He said, I stopped trying to time the top, and I started getting serious about holding at the bottom. When everything Black Swan in 2022, FTX, NFTs, general crypto sentiment, I kept asking one question: what will still be here when the smoke's cleared? And he said his answer is Pepe coin, not the other Pepe, but the Pepe coin, the original Pepe coin. And I'm just skipping some of the parts and some of the stuff that I say as well too. He said I kept building my position, and this is all this is about right here. This is all I've been talking about. Just continue to follow Michael Saylor's strategy. Whenever the token dips, guess what I'm doing? I'm accumulating more. So I'm not focused really on the P&L. I show the P&L because people tend to like to see that. But really, what I'm focusing in is how much of Roaring Kitty I could get as things are low. Because again, once it start having a rebound and once it start popping, all of that tokens that I bought at the bottom, I am just compounding that gain even faster. This is how this person, outlining how he was able to become a multi-millionaire, by just doing the same strategy that I have been stating for the past 13, 14 weeks now. And he did this during the bear cycle. He said instead I focused on big picture, lowering my cost basis, trusting the broader cycle. You won't catch every move. You won't perfectly time every rotation. The point is to stay in the game long enough to benefit when your thesis proves out. Again, this is the overall thesis right here, guys. This is the overall thesis right here. Um, Keith Gill, liquidity squeeze. Uh, you also have GameStop meta, crypto market. Like the thesis is the thesis, and this is the thing that keeps me excited about Roaring Kitty because again, my thesis is going to play out. So let's continue. Last couple of parts of this, he says, "Do you believe it over, or do you believe this is a great setup?" Again, I believe this is a great setup, and just in case somebody wanted some type of sign or anything like that, he said because if Bitcoin continue to keep pushing further into all-time highs, Ethereum follows, and we are going to see meme coins roar. There we go. We're gonna see meme coins roar. That's all you need to hear. But overall, everything that he said of how he became a multi-millionaire by just simply DCAing uh, into a great asset is the same thing that I'm currently doing right now. So this is why I have no qualms or I don't have no fear of of the price going down. If it goes down even further, great. Guess what's going to end up happening? I'm going to be able to buy a lot more, build up my position over time. So once things start to get crazy and it start to have like its up only move, then guess who is compounding a lot faster? Yes, it's going to be your boy. But yeah, really that's all I have for you guys today. Again, I said the same thing. If you don't believe my words, now listen to it, from a multi-millionaire. But let me know though in the comment down below your thoughts, your opinion about all this. Random Arts guy signing off. Peace.